All the first thing, anything can happen. Anybody can be knocked out. Because remember, the chin don't lift weights. That's what I always say.
Heavyweights as the sparring, or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring.
Floyd Mayweather was stunned after witnessing Gervonta Davis knock out a heavyweight during sparring ahead of his showdown with Jake Paul. Floyd said, "People still don't get it. Size doesn't win fights. A bigger body can fall just as fast if the other man has speed, timing, and precision." He explained that boxing isn't about mass. It's about mastery, and Davis just proved it again by dropping an opponent who outweighed him by several divisions. For Floyd, it was living proof that power, when sharpened by skill, knows no weight class.
Anybody can be knocked out. So I don't put nothing past nobody. I could be knocked out. Hit me from the blind side. I mean, that's most time how fighters get knocked out, with the hook. You can't see a hook coming because it comes from the blind side. But as far as with boxing, I don't really need to beef with, I really don't need to beef with nobody in the sport of boxing. Even though it could be some people I really don't like, I don't need to beef with nobody. They ain't got what I got. They boxers. I'm a businessman. And then on the outside, most time, a motherfucker got beef with me because they ain't got what I got.
Gervonta Davis has spent years testing himself against larger opponents long before this matchup was even imagined. His coaches believe that sparring with heavier fighters forces him to sharpen his explosiveness and timing under pressure. It's a method that keeps him fast, alert, and dangerous. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is training with shorter, elusive boxers to simulate Tank's style, learning how to cut off the ring and attack with precision. Both camps agree on one thing: size alone doesn't decide who wins. Davis's body has been conditioned through years of grit and durability, while Jake focuses on strategy and discipline. In this fight, brains and balance may outweigh pure muscle.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, you know, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all the ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Cause I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, you know, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, you know, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. Honestly, I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, you know, just kind of letting them know. No, like, you know, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring, and that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Reports from inside the gym describe scenes that left everyone speechless. Witnesses say Davis has been dropping sparring partners much taller and stronger than him. The shock isn't just that he hits hard, it's how perfectly he lands. Those who thought they could overpower him quickly realized it was a mistake. His punches carry precision that turns strength into weakness. Insiders whisper that his power could easily compete beyond the lightweight division. With compact movement, explosive torque, and pinpoint accuracy, Davis generates force like few others in the sport. and that makes him a danger to anyone, regardless of size.
So look at this. Gervonta Davis knocked out heavyweight in brutal sparring session. And it just makes me think, you're willing to go spar with heavyweights, but you're not willing to go fight people that you should be fighting. You know what I mean? You're fighting Lamont Roach. His sparring partners was like, man, I was about to spar Tank. He was sparring this big boy, a heavyweight boy. And Tank hit him so hard, he was on the ropes like this, hanging. I thought he died. I was like, man, I hope you don't do this stuff to me. When Davis asked to confirm whether it was true, the WBA lightweight champion said, stuff be happening. Best not to get in there with me. That's it. This guy has all the skills in the world to knock out even heavyweights in sparring, and yet he won't fight Shakur Stevenson. He won't fight Teofimo Lopez. He won't fight anyone that he needs to fight to become great. He's fighting Frank Martin and Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? It's just truly crazy. But hey, it's his career. If he wants to just make money, the easiest money that he can without fighting the hardest competition, so be it.
The well-known boxing analyst reminded fans that judging Davis by his last performance misses the bigger picture. Even on a night where expectations weren't met, Tank remained composed, adapted mid-fight, and finished strong. That kind of calm under fire only comes from experience. Jake Paul has shown heart, but he hasn't faced moments where one mistake could end everything. For Davis, tough fights are lessons. For Jake, those moments are still uncharted territory. Critics calling for an upset forget how many elite opponents Davis has dismantled through patience and timing. Experience, especially under pressure, often becomes the deciding factor between survival and defeat.
Jake Paul is not beating Tank Davis. Can't believe I actually have to make this video, but let's break this down. The fact that there's actually credible names in the boxing industry saying that Jake Paul's gonna KO Tank Davis is wild. Look, I know Tank Davis's last performance against Lamont Roach was not that good. And in recent years, he's devalued his stock as a fighter by cherry picking, being extremely inactive, and just straight up fighting lazy sometimes. But let's not forget the offensive powerhouse that Tank Davis is. When he's on, he's one of the best knockout punchers in the sport today. He usually fights very economical the first few rounds, whether that's by strategy or that's just a habit he's had ever since he started boxing. But he starts out very slow in the first few rounds. But once he starts to let his hands go, and that snowball starts running downhill, there's almost nothing in the sport of boxing that can stop that. You need a guy who has elite defense to be able to stop an offensive assault like that. Only guys like Shakur Stevenson, Jaron Ennis, and maybe Devin Haney have the ability to stop that. And then we have Jake Paul. Yes, he's 6'2". Yes, he's going to be 200 pounds in the ring. But as you can see with his fight with Tommy Fury, he has poor defense. Whenever he faces another boxer who actually knows what they're doing, once they let their hands go, Jake doesn't know what to do. He's not comfortable defending, whether that's moving his feet or moving his head or just having a tight high guard. He doesn't do it. He gets fatigued and starts dropping his hands, and that would be fine if he had good movement to make up for it, but he doesn't. He has some pretty decent offense, but he mainly throws punches and combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds and then gets fatigued. He's not a true one-punch knockout artist, and he's not a very good strategic fighter either when it comes to winning decisions. So what's going to happen is Jake Paul's going to throw combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then right when he gets tired, Tank's going to come on strong and start unloading with the hardest punches that Jake Paul has ever been hit with. And he'll get stopped. It might not be a one-punch knockout, but Jake Paul will get stopped.
I mean, I don't really take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he does so much wrong. It's just, everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defense. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level. And then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different. It's like a different sport.